I thought it prudent to frame my reflection against a variation of the Babson Entrepreneurial Ecosystem Platform, or BEEP for short. BEEP allows me to logically group ecosystem domains and actors whilst ensuring coverage of most of the ecosystem domains and subsets of policy, finance, culture, support, human capital, and markets. Firstly, our tour starts with Dr. William Crowe of High Earth Robotics, who is located in the Australian Centre for Space Engineering Research, known as ACER, in the Hilmer Building at UNSW. Locating his business at UNSW ticks a few boxes on our ecosystem map, including proximity to established research and innovation institutions, ACER and the Michael Crouch Innovation Centre, where mentors and experts on campus were readily available. Also, he was provided working space at presumably a discount and proximity to other organisations that were going through similar entrepreneurial journeys at ACER. As we can see from the BEEP mapping, locating at UNSW covers a good swath of ecosystem domains. Also, I think it's safe to say that most of metropolitan Sydney has decent access to communications, high-speed internet, transport, logistics, and utilities like electricity, gas, clean drinking water, all of which are critical for a healthy functioning society. Next on our tour was with James Cameron of Airtree Investments, located in the eastern suburbs, where the culture and proximity to the Sydney CBD creates a desirable hub for talent to live and has a rich spread of cafes, co-working spaces and support services, which are so critical for a vibrant entrepreneurial ecosystem. James spoke of Sydney's evolution over the last couple of decades to an ecosystem that now hosts large, innovative, multinational tech giants like Google, Amazon, who bring with them high standards of employee training and skills requirements. Access to good quality human capital is available from the pool of high quality graduates who incidentally may facilitate the spin-off of other entrepreneurial startups. Next on our tour is Chinatown with Duco van Bremen of Haymarket HQ, who exemplifies the advantages of having a close time zone to Asia and Sydney's diverse multicultural pool of Asia-capable language talent, cultural understanding, and of course, Asian food, of which Chinatown has an abundance of. Now we travel into Wynyard to visit Simon Cant of Reinventure, who espouses the advantages of being so close to many of Sydney's financial services companies and incubators like Stone & Chalk and Tyro FinTech Hub. Simon notes that Reinventure was an integral first tenant of the Stone & Chalk FinTech Incubator, which is the largest in the Southern Hemisphere. He also noted that in the past, the Sydney VC market was underserved and has since grown big enough to support larger entrepreneurial enterprises. Based on this observation, I surmise that another indicator of a healthy entrepreneurial system is size, or critical mass. Just around the corner, in York Street, Trevor Folsom of Investable gives us the reason why they chose Sydney to set up their business. It was the fastest growing entrepreneurial ecosystem in Australia and now is further supported by the location of the Sydney Startup Hub. This begs the question of why Sydney was the fastest growing entrepreneurial ecosystem. Was it local and government state support? Or was it the concentration of quality human capital? Was it healthy amount of possible customers or the cultural diversity or access to capital? I would probably say it's a combination of all this and more. I think the Sydney Startup Hub bears special mention as a state government initiative which enables many ecosystem domains and actors to engage, mix, meet, communicate, collaborate, and be in close proximity to each other, and to a high concentration of other ecosystem actors like incubators, financial institutions, professional support services, government, and corporates. It's a mini entrepreneurial ecosystem in the Sydney ecosystem. This synergistic approach, I believe, encourages the entrepreneurial mindset to generate new ideas and engagements where innovation and wealth creation thrives in a cauldron of economic activity. I feel the close proximity of all these actors in one hub facilitates the rapid entrepreneurial cycle. So now we look at financing our startup from the VC perspective of James Cameron of Airtree Ventures. He makes an interesting point that early stage startups can't be solely identified using revenue or traction, as many are pre-revenue and pre-product. So they look for great teams who have potential to grow into great businesses. Back to Dr. William Crowe of High Earth Orbit Robotics at UNSW, he financed via government grants, like the New South Wales MVP grant, which is co-matched with family and friends investments. Trevor Folsom from Investable suggests there are 5 key areas to be successful as a VC. In light of these requirements, I can see how understanding what drives a VC and their imperatives allow an entrepreneur to better engage, negotiate, and deliver when dealing with them. So rounding out the finance discussion, it's apparent that financing your startup really depends on a number of factors like how advanced your product is, revenue, customers, and the founders themselves. As each startup develops and matures, they'll be able to access different financing options from the very early family and friends stage, or seed investors, to Series A, B, or C. Looking back at our ecosystem map, the financing domain represents a critical yet discrete part of the entrepreneurial ecosystem, which has to work with the other components in order for the entrepreneur to make his startup successful.